All right, guys, I need everybody on a voice level of 0. I need you to track me. I'm going to go through some important concepts from this section and from this bell ringer, this do now, to make sure that you understand how to use your calculator and be able to go through. All right? So the key thing on this do now, when I look at this do now, it says use the set of data for questions 1 through 3. Now on one of these, we're not going to actually have to go through and do because we can do all of the rest of it in the calculator. But the purpose I'm going to go through this is to make sure all of you know how to utilize the calculator to your advantage, to help and make sure you understand and have a chance of getting these questions like this correct. First things first, whenever we see a table, the table is probably going to ask you what is the behavior or what is the pattern that you can see and turn into some type of linear regression line. All right? So what they want us to do on this one is they want us to draw this scatter plot. We're going to draw the scatter plot in our calculator. And then the next thing is they want us to write a prediction equation. That's kind of the most important part of this question, is being able to come up with a prediction equation. Now, it's actually not a prediction if we're going to actually calculate it in the calculator. All right, and then after that, we're going to use our prediction equation to determine what number 11, what the cost of the fuel will be when the temperature is 11 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, so here we go. All right, so this right here, the first one is going to be done in calculator. All right, so what you're going to do, the first one I see I don't have a y value yet. We're not going to actually figure out the y value until we get to question number 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put an x right here, and I can actually enter in this portion of the table into my calculator. As long as you have 2 points, you can enter that data in a calculator to create a line, to create a parabola, to create whatever you want that regression to be. All right, so I'm going to enter this in. My x column is at the top, is going to be my temperature. My y column is going to be my cost in fuel, because that's going to be the output. That's going to be my result for depending on what the temperature is. All right, so now it wants me to use the prediction equation. I'm going to walk you through how to input lists and spreadsheets. Right now, I don't have the calculator app on my computer. I have text the people that be to be able to tell me how can I get the calculator back on my computer, because I did have it last year. All right, so what I need everybody to do right now is click the home button on your calculator. The home button looks a little something like this. It's in the top right-hand corner of your calculator, top right-hand corner. It looks like the home button. It's a little house, and you're going to click on the home button. Yes, sir, top right-hand corner. All right, click on the home button. From there, we've had 5 other classes today. First, second, third, fourth, and now we're in the last period of the day. So it's that much data in this calculator. I want us to delete out all of the extra junk in there. So from the home button, you see 2 columns. You see scratch pad and you see documents. I want you to go over under the documents column, and I want you to click on number 1 that says new. Number 1 under documents that says new, and hit enter. It's going to ask you a question that says, do you want to save unsaved document? Click no. So scroll over and click where it says no, highlight the word no, and hit enter. What that does is it clears out all of the other junk that people have been putting into this calculator and allows you to start over from a fresh scratch pad. All right? Now I'm going to click on my home button again to go back home, and now we're going to actually go and find lists and spreadsheets to enter in this data. All right, so I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom row, and it's the one in the middle. It's turquoise, and it's a cell that looks a little something like this. It's not red, it's turquoise, bluish, turquoise green. And it's going to look like this. Click on the cell that you'll highlight that has boxes that look like that in the direct middle of the bottom row. When you highlight it, it's going to say lists and spreadsheets. And then you should get a blank screen that looks like this. It looks like a larger Excel document, Microsoft Excel document. First step, I don't like A and B to be titled my columns. I like X and Y. That's what we're used to in math. So go up on the A column and highlight the letter A. It'll put a blue box around it. And type in the letter X and hit enter. So go up and highlight where a blue box will go around the letter A. Highlight that letter and type in the letter X. Then you're going to go over to column B. What do you think we're going to put in column B? Y. B is going to be our Y values. So highlight the letter B and type in the letter Y. That just makes it more manageable when you're searching for where your data is actually put. You can actually go and find the data that you put in and not searching all over the web to try to find where your X and Y values are. Now you're going to go back down to the white section of your graph and you're going to go to cell 1. It should be a number 1 and you're going to go and highlight the cell in blue next to the number 1 in the white section, not the gray section. Right? So, in our white section of cell 1, we're going to type in 15, 22, and 29. Then I'm going to arrow over and go to column Y. That's to the right of column X. And I'm going to type in 64, 50, and 36. Enter. After I hit 36, hit enter, and it's going to take you to a blank cell. Is everybody with me? Now we're going to actually go through the process to actually figure out what equation would be the best fit for this data. Do not worry about we didn't include this. We didn't need this. All we needed was 2 points. 1, 2 was enough. But we actually have 3. All right, so from our next empty cell, we're going to hit menu, scroll down, actions, insert data on statistics, hit the arrow over. So go down to statistics, arrow over, stat calculations, arrow over, and then you're going to go down to number 3 that says linear regression mx plus b. Click enter. Now you come to your last screen. It's going to ask, where's your data at? Where did you put all of your X and Y values? So it says X list. Where did you put your X list? I labeled my X list X. So I'm going to arrow over, and I'm going to go find the letter X that I actually typed in and hit enter. Then go down to Y list, arrow over, and it says which one of these is your Y list. I'm going to go down and click Y. After you've selected where you input your data, I'm going to hit enter. You do not have to, but you can if you want to. Use your mouse. But all you have to do after you enter your X and Y, go down and hit enter. All right? Y'all tell me, what does it say your M is? If I'm looking at Y equals blank X plus blank, what goes in the first blank? What's our M? -2. Good. And then I have to enter in my y-intercept. What is our y-intercept? 94. Remember from Friday, another word for y-intercept is starting point. So our starting point for this data is 94 when the temperature is 0 degrees Fahrenheit. The cost of fuel is going to be $94. So now number 3, it says use your prediction equation to predict the missing value. So if the temperature is 11 degrees, what is the cost of fuel going to be? How can I figure that out? Plug in what? What can I plug in 11 for in this equation? X. I can plug in 11 for X. So I'm going to go back to my home screen. I'm going to go up to calculate, and I'm actually going to type that and figure out what it's going to be when X is 11. So -2 times 11, and then I'm going to add 94 to that. what do we get for our y value? 72. $72. So what that means is when the temperature is 11 degrees Fahrenheit, it would cost us $72 for that full week for us to get gas, to get fuel. All right, that's a lot cheaper than what it is nowadays. A lot. Any questions? All right, let's look at number 4. Now we're going to actually look at a scatter plot and be able to analyze the data based on this scatter plot. So it says the scatter plot shows the number of summer workouts the players in a basketball team attended and the number of wins that they should get in the following season. So based on the number of workouts that they work out over the summer before, that next summer we're able to predict how many games they should win. So based on this data, well, let me ask you this question. Is this a positive or a negative correlation of data? Positive. This is a positive correlation. How I know it's positive? Because as my number of summer workouts increase, the number of games that I should win is also increasing. So that's a positive relationship. All right? So it says predict the number of wins that the team would win if they attended 24 summer workouts. So I'm going to actually go on this graph. It stops at 20. So I know the next one should be 22. And then I'll be somewhere at 24 out here. So if I go to 24 summer workouts, I'm going to predict, fitting in with this correlation, how many games should I win? All right? 24 is going to be somewhere right here. About how many games would that be right there at that corner? How many? Take a guess. It's not going to hurt anybody. So we see as the number of workouts for the team increases, the number of games that they win is also increasing. About how many games would this be about right here? 26. Correct answer. And that's exactly what they get from the book. They got 26 games is what they should win. All right? If you got 27, that's fine because this is based on a prediction. But you're still within the realm of how many games they should win. 26.5, 27, that's right along the lines of how many games they should win. Any questions over anything on this that we went over on the warm-up? No. All right, good deal, guys. Now we're going to talk our way through, even though I've already kind of went over how to work lists and spreadsheets in our calculator and get a closer shot at getting the answer right and make better predictions. We're going to go through it on this sheet. And I'm going to actually tell you which questions you needed to have worked on section 2.5. All right, so scatter plots and creating lines of regression. Key word on this document is lines. Lines of regression. So what is a scatter plot? A scatter plot is basically you just going in and you're creating something discrete. You're basically plotting a point. Remember, that's what discrete means. Plotting single points. You're not connecting it with a line and making it continuous. You're just plotting those points. All right? So if we're looking at a scatter plot, they give us a couple of ways besides lists and spreadsheets where we can go and actually figure out what our line of regression is. Let's look at this first example. So according to a certain prediction equation, the cost of 200 square feet of storage is going to cost us about $60. You can go ahead right there and start making you a table, making you a list. So if I come over here, I'm going to make an X column and a Y column. I know the cost of 200 square feet, the output is going to cost me $60. That's bad. That looks bad. All right. Then I'll go over here. The cost of 325 square feet it's gonna cost me $160. So right now, we see a positive correlation. As our square feet increases, the cost of the storage is gonna cost a little bit more. The cost of storage will also increase. So I can use this list, plug it in my calculator, and I can predict and see if I can get the same line of regression that they got on answer choice B. Is everybody following? So let's go through and actually do that. Alright, so I want y'all to do, I'm going to give y'all a couple seconds to be able to work in your own calculators and see if you can put in that table that we just created and see if you can get something that's close to this line of regression. Alright, I'll rewrite those points up here again so you can see it. So we had an X column and a Y column. They told us 200 cost $60. And what was the other one? 325? Let me see someone's paper. I got one right here.
This is right.
Yeah, 325. Cost us $160. Alright, let's go ahead and try on your own and enter this in lists and spreadsheets. That way you're checking and making sure you're going through the steps right, and if you get the same answer that they got or something close, you're on the right page. So I'm going to click on my home button. I'm going to create a new document to delete out all the other stuff that I had in. Do you want to save this document? No. Click back on my home button. I'm going down to lists and spreadsheets. I'm going to label my A column X. I'm going to go over label my B column Y. And then from there, I'm going to hit 200, 325, and I'm going to hit 60, 160. Has everybody got their data in? All right, I'm going to hit menu in my next blank cell. Go down to statistics, stat calculations, number 3, line of regression. My X list was column X, what I named it as. My Y list was column, let me go down to Y, was column Y. Right? My calculator gave me my slope. It said about 0.83. That's pretty close. It's a guesstimate. I'm estimating. All right? X plus my B value. My B value, it said negative 106. So the minus sign, whenever I have a plus and a minus, we talked about this last week, it becomes a big minus sign. So Y equals 0.83x minus 106. Alright, I think this line of best fit is very close to what they got. Because they said 0.8x minus 100. We got 106. That's still in a close enough approximation. Is everybody guessing? Is everybody getting where I'm coming from? So it does not have to be. It's a line of best fit. So you're trying to get as close to where the line is going to be as possible. Right? So that's how you go through and go through these exercises and enter in data into lists and spreadsheets. You hit menu, statistics, stat calculations, and then linear number 3, linear regression, which says mx plus b.
Can you post a video on how to do it in Google Classroom?
Alright, questions?
Can you post a video on how to do it in Google Classroom?
Yes, I am gonna post it. I'm posted like the last one I did Friday.
On a video?
It's on YouTube. Don't be having people go on YouTube and making fun of me.
I'm not.
Alright? So yes, sir. And tomorrow I will have the calculator app up. I'm hoping that she texts me while I've been talking through this to create a video for today. But make sure we're going through these steps. Menu, statistics, stat calculations. Number 3 that says linear regression, mx plus b. That will give you a good approximation, a good guesstimate. Something that you're gonna still need to know how to do, even though now we're in Algebra 2. Because eventually we're gonna have to go through that same method with creating a quadratic equation. Alright? Absolute value equations. All of those different equations that pop up after we hit stat calculations, we can actually equate any of those equations. Alright? Then on B down here it says predict the equation to show how many years of experience X are related for Y. That's what our equation is going to be. So once you get to C, they're going to actually ask you about a certain number of experience of years for you to actually predict and be able to plug in like we did on the bell ringer. Is everybody following me? Does everybody feel a little bit more comfortable with using lists and spreadsheets and making predictions? All right, let me look at the back page. So on the front, this is what I wanted you to do for the assignment. Real quick assignment. On the front, all I want you to do is number 1, create a list and approximate what the equation would be, and then answer part C. Use the function to predict the hourly rate for 15 years of experience. So you're gonna actually plug in 15 for the years of experience and figure out how much they should get paid for 15 years of experience. You do not have to graph it because I'm assuming you graphed it in your calculator. On the back, they give you another table. Based on this table, I want you to create a general line of regression that would be the best fit for this list of data. That's all you have to do on the back. Any questions on front or back? Very quick, easy assignment. Make sure you also get the exit ticket for 2-5 completed.
What does it do?
I just went over what their assignment was.
What does this do?
Okay. Yes.
What does it do?
All right, anybody have questions over what the expectations are from section 2-5? All right, if ever you need a calculator, guys, come and ask us, because me, Mr. Drell, or somebody is always up here that we can check out a calculator to you, but the calculator is due by that next morning, first period. All right, you can take it home and work on your assignments. We're going to write your name down, and we're going to expect it back by first period the next day. All right, so make sure you ask. After this period, you can ask, and we'll let you check one out until first period next morning. Also, I was talking to a parent, and I decided, based off of looking at my schedule, if anybody wants to come to Algebra 2 tutorials on Thursday after school, so that means starting 3:30 till 4:30, 1 hour is the amount of time that I'm going to donate of my time and do tutoring over anything that we've talked about from Algebra 2 that you need more one-on-one help on, more support, smaller group support. All right, starting this Thursday after school. 3:30 to 4:30 and 4:30, I'm expect that you already have your ride and you're able to leave. All right, y'all are not in elementary or middle school. Everybody got it? So after school, if you need support, you have been extended the invitation. If I have behavior problems, I'm not even gonna deal with them. Behavior problems, you will not be allowed to stay after school for tutorial. Not with me, you won't. All right, thank you guys. Yes, we're teachers. Yes. All right. You good, you good. Thank you guys. Turn in those calculators. If you need one, check it out. Let me know.